for us for this time. I'm going to pass the next song over to Hunter, and here we go.
All right. So your second song that we were going to talk about is called "How Does It Feel to Be Rich?" And I don't know if this was intentional. I don't usually listen to hip hop that often. My sister would know much better than me. But were you going for a little bit of an 80s vibe with this song? Because that's how I felt. Maybe I was totally off.
Oh, no, you're definitely right. I think I would have strived in the 80s. So a lot of the time, if a beat pops out to me, I try to get on that 80s vibe, that 80s feel.
Yeah.
The fashion scene was awesome in the 80s. I loved it. So that's why I say I would strive. But depending on my mood and the environment around me, that plays a big part of the vibe that I give to the beat and that I give to the listener.
And I feel like that's something that's also, you mentioned at the beginning, you listen those crucial 8 or 10 seconds at the beginning. I feel like with this song, particularly, you have the opening repeated segment. It sounds like a flute, but it's definitely sort of synthetic. It's really interesting. I think it would catch people's attention, especially with the 80s feel that it comes with. How did you pick that beginning?
So the beat originally wasn't so repetitive like how it is. The engineer and I kind of like skipped it around a couple times, played with it, remixed it, slowed it down until we found what you got now, the final product. And we were just like, that repetitiveness is gonna be catchy enough for the listener to at least get to the hook, or at least get to what I'm about to say. And then they'll decide whether or not that they want to press next or not. So it definitely was a little bit of ingenuity and a little thought behind it, but we messed it around a couple times and then we finally got to the one that we liked, and we were like, yeah, this is it.
So I guess in addition to that, then would you say that trial and error is a big part of working with beats and with a sound engineer?
Oh, of course. And trial and error is a human being thing. Learn best through trial and error. So again, another piece of the algorithm is trial and error, and you can put that towards everything that you do. But yes,
Yeah.
definitely helped me, and the engineer helps me and my team. It helps a lot.
Very cool. Because you like you said, it's a human thing. We do that in everything. So I imagined it was similar to that. And something else that I do like about the song is the title is really interesting. It's this question that you don't quite answer, but you can imagine what an answer would be. And so my question is, and I usually like to ask this to writers and composers is, did the title come first and you wound up writing the lyrics, or did you write the lyrics and then decide that line was going to be the title?
For me, it's a feeling at first. I gotta feel the vibe from the beat at first. Then then I go into the rhythm and I find like the tempo that I want to do, and then I go in and write the lyrics. So it definitely goes feeling, lyrics, then the title for the song. Because again, it threw out 80s vibe to me. So that's
Right.
kind of what I was thinking James Bond when I was writing it, when I was listening to it. And then I was like, how does it feel to be rich? Man, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be dope. Like if I was like a secret agent type thing, like I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. So definitely feeling, then it goes into the lyrics, and then I write my song title.
And the beat comes before all of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The BPMs, the beats per minute. Yeah. Got
Interesting.
gotta catch the listener's ear before you even get to the words.
That's interesting because I find that always is that's always a question I wonder with musicians is, I mean, I don't do much composition myself, so for me, it's not a question I usually ask or that I have to ponder, but it's the chicken or the egg thing. You know, now that we know your sequence of writing, a lot of people say, like, you know, oh, I came up with all of the wordplay for the word craft first and then wound up writing the melody. And some people say I had a melody that I came up with first and then set lyrics.
There's no algorithm to writing music, because a lot of artists will do that. Will come up with a rhyme scheme, like a humming scheme, and then slowly, kind of like the puzzle, will slowly put words that fit right in that spot of your humming sequence. You know what I'm saying? So definitely it varies from artist to artist. And you know what I said earlier, you know, my environment, if my environment is affecting me a lot, then that will come into play as well when, you know, composing or writing a song.
Yeah, which leads to my final question, which is, if you, and you sort of touched on it already, if you had to answer the question in the title, what do you imagine the answer would be?
How does it feel to be rich? A feeling everybody probably feels. Like, it's just relatable. Well, you know, like, you know, everybody, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a big chunk of the world will always, you know, damn, what it feels like to be rich, you know, like whatever they're doing, they're not doing what I'm doing right now. They're not sitting here wondering what it's like to be rich.
No, you're so right. I was just curious because, you know, some people would take that, you know, that approach to it, right? Where it's like, you know, it's not what this is.
Yeah,
and then some people would be like, you know, it might not be as good
as you think.
You know, some people would take the cynical approach to it. And right. So I was curious, when you were going for this, what was your vibe? Because you mentioned, like, you know, the James Bond type, and that's obviously the positive view of it.
Yeah, facts. And you know, that's crazy, because that's the whole video scheme is for the song is how does it feel to be rich? You'll be seeing me doing a bunch of cool, fancy stuff, but then you'll also see the dark side of what money can do to a person and how it can manipulate people, and it how it really isn't everything. You know, everybody wants to be rich, but is everybody willing to take the sacrifices that come with being rich? You know, like there's a lot of
the danger,
the demons, you know, there's a lot of vices that can occur when you obtain a big amount of money. You know, it's responsibility comes into play. Like, are you even responsible to be rich? You know? So definitely, I can't wait to release the video, because people are gonna see the twist of, you know, the actual title of how does it feel to be rich.
That's a great answer. You know, there's the old phrase, it's French, noblesse oblige, right? Nobility obliges. So people who are of that, you know, that world, they have a responsibility to act accordingly, right? And that's the part that people forget. So I found it's a very thought-provoking concept, title, and image. Sounds like that you're, you know, the image you're describing. So I really enjoyed that quite a bit.